Good.
All right, I'd like to call the BAA meeting to order for 11 p.m. on the 23rd of April. What? 4:11 p.m. 4:11.
4:11.
4:11 p.m.
It's
Sorry.
actually 11.
Yeah, I missed it.
4:11. Sorry. We have all three members.
Oh, yeah.
Right, Gary, you're here.
Yeah, I'm here.
Kathleen, you're here.
Present.
You're present. Good. I'm here. Perfect. Excellent. All righty. So we have two appeals, right? Matthew?
Yes.
Okay. So you have American Muscle and then what's that? Let me swear you in and then I'll let you, we'll start with American Muscle and then your cars, your second one.
Okay.
Or whichever one you want to do, I'll give you the floor.
I have the American Muscle lined up first because that was the first time slot.
Great.
Perfect. You raise your right hand. You solemnly swear and sincerely affirm, as the case may be, that the evidence you shall give concerning this case shall be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God, or upon penalty of perjury.
Yes, I do.
Welcome. Floor is yours.
I filed this appeal because on my declaration of personal property, I listed a couple things and the valuation that the assessors put on it is nowhere close to what I put on my sheet. I called the office looking for clarification. I couldn't get any. And at this point, this was when the first readjustment came through. And they're like, well, you missed the appeals. Nothing we can do for you, sorry. And then they got a little greedy and they readjusted it again and it reset the appeals clock. So now I was able to appeal it. And on my thing, I have $90 for furniture, depreciated mechanics tools of $150, of which the mechanic tools have a $500 exemption. So there's some $90 in office furniture on here. So I'm at a loss is why there's a $4,500 valuation.
You have one?
There you go.
I'm sorry, I thought you had a.
No, it's okay. We'll listen.
No copy.
Of course. Thanks. So for the office equipment, do you have a detailed asset sheet?
Actually,
Everything?
it all got destroyed. It got flooded out and it all got destroyed. So there's not even any office equipment anymore.
Okay. You have a tax return that you file, with the IRS? Do you have anything that you can give us today?
All right, so you're saying you don't have any of the furniture that is,
The furniture is garbage.
when did the flood happen?
It was like January or February of last year.
2023.
Yeah, when we got all that water.
2024.
Because I'm low there and my office is on the bottom floor. And we had 3 feet of water in the building.
And then when you declared in October
I just
2024.
appreciated off the previous year.
Yeah, it says detailed listing of disposed assets. You should put a line through.
Yeah, it wasn't disposed, it was just junk.
So you still have it, it's just not useful. Okay.
Okay.
Anything else?
Anything else for that one?
Nope.
Anything else? Okay. All right. Second one, the cars, right? Yes. Only one. photos.
I just wanna see what these, sort of pictures that are attached. Go with Cashway? Or American Muscle rather,
Yeah,
that's-
so there's pictures attached for Calfway Motors
okay,
at 174 Francis. And then the other packet is gonna be the other one at 366 Maple.
There's only one of those, right?
No, they have some other pictures to go with those as well.
so. Got
Okay,
It's not Maple Hill?
No, it's, Francis Ave.
that's Francis.
Oh, I saw 366.
Oh, no, that is.
Yeah,
That's where he's gonna talk, or
Okay,
he's gonna talk about that one next.
okay, all right.
So you go for that one next.
On the 366 on my declaration, I have one personal vehicle there, which is a Camaro. I listed the value and I also attached a letter to the assessor saying the additional vehicles at my residence are property / inventory of American Muscle Inc., 174 Francis Ave, Newington, Connecticut, and are not my personal property. I included that with my first property declaration. And the assessor proceeded to assess me for those vehicles, even though they received a letter from me on my sworn statement saying those vehicles are inventory of American Muscle.
So what are they doing on?
And, well, these pictures you're looking at, the zoning department took those on February 1st. So those aren't germane to this case at all because they were taken after this declaration. So all those pictures should not be admitted because they were taken after.
Is this one all right?
That
Does that
was-
date?
all the
Yep,
vehicles,
those all have dates as well, and those show those vehicles in those
You
pictures.
can still show the vehicle, they're not my personal property, and I brought some representative titles to show you that they're not. They're titled in American Muscle's name.
I don't understand why they're on Maple Hill. That's where you live?
Yes, because I was having a theft problem at my property, they were stealing all the catalytic converters. So cars that were more value,
Go for that.
Daniel, what's the zoning over there on Maple Hill Ave?
Residential.
Residential? Okay, what's the official zoning over there?
You'd have to look it up, but
or 12.
it's R12. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's R12.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. We have, these are,
No, those
how
are,
many copies?
you can make copies if you'd like. Those are the actual titles.
So are those cars there for just temporarily till you get them?
Correct.
I know where, I live behind it. I mean, I drive by, I never do, I couldn't believe they let them keep those cars there.
Well, I'm in court with the town now,
Oh, you are?
and the town is just using the assessor's office as another means to stick a knife in my back.
Okay, okay.
And them,
Where, do you live on Maple Hill?
yes,
So that's your
Yes.
personal residence too?
and the fact that they're showing those pictures at this hearing, is evidence of that. Because that's after this affidavit.
Right, but they go in line with the pictures.
They don't go in line with
They
anything
go in
because
line
they're
with
after the
the
fact.
Right there.
And you're being unethical, possibly criminal in what you're doing, and I'm gonna take you to task on
Okay.
Another person, but I wouldn't wanna live next door to you. I mean, with my family and my kids, and it's like, you know,
it's in a residential neighborhood, so,
oh,
yeah,
totally, it's like, oh, wow.
absolutely.
And it's been there for a while, it's not like it's, I don't know when you moved them there or
it. I've
over
been there
time.
since '94.
And then, no one, they were talking before this, I mean,
That's a constant battle.
okay.
So the cars have been there since October 1st of
I
'24?
didn't see the back.
How many cars have been there since 10/1/24?
Probably 20 some odd.
20?
At least.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's some in the back too, or?
Yeah. And I also called in on this and they're like, well, you missed the deadline, too bad.
Okay,
And they're like, yeah, we got the letter, but we just estimated that that's what they're worth. That's not how an assessor does it. You don't just estimate what something's worth.
Well, if you, so for personal property, so these are unregistered motor vehicles. If you don't provide us a personal property, then yes, we do, the law states that we do estimate what they are. So with 2024, we
But
use
they
the
were told that
MSRP.
they're inventory of American muscle.
Being stored at.
But
That's
they're,
what the letter said.
but it's in a residential neighborhood. That's the problem though.
It doesn't matter if they're owned by
But it's in
somebody
a,
else.
but it's in a residential neighborhood. That's the problem. But that's beyond our scope. That's another department. We're not gonna worry about that. Our thing is the assessment, and that's what you're trying to agree right now.
Right, and the cars are not my personal property, as I've shown the titles.
Mhm.
They're property of American Muscle, and I submitted the letter with the sheet.
So they're,
And-
so they're on the other. they're
So
on
who is the
other-
owner of American Muscle again?
It's a corporation.
So who's the owner of it?
There's 4 owners.
Who signs the checks?
I sign the checks.
Okay.
And they're even when they send out the bill to my personal address, it lists American Muscle on it.
Okay.
And that's a new thing. Because previous to that, it was just sent to me with no mention of American Muscle.
But they're one in the American Muscle.
And they're acknowledging that now by listing American Muscle with me.
And how many cars do they have on that?
They don't have any listing of anything.
There are, so
And the
You
listing
can-
you have was done on after February 1st.
if you look at, so the one at 366
Yeah.
Maple Hill, we
Yeah.
listed the one vehicle.
Mhm.
And we used the MSRP, the original MSRP per the new state law.
Mhm.
And that's where we got that assessment from, was when that one. and then we
$20,000?
added a couple, and then there was a little bit of an adjustment for the unregistered vehicles. The Cashway Motors, there was a vehicle reported that we used the MSRP for. We didn't add or make any estimates on that one.
And per the Connecticut law here, which they use,
Who's they?
The assessors.
the assessor's office,
Yep.
it is a 1988 Camaro. So it's well over the 20 years, and it says,
That's for registered vehicles. These are unregistered.
then why wouldn't it be the same? Because it's unregistered, it's worth more,
It's because it doesn't have a plate on it.
so it's worth more?
Well, it's a different category.
So is it worth more because it doesn't have a plate?
Well, you have to file a personal property tax and you have to let us know. If
And I
it
did.
Doesn't.
I filed
then It's under.
I filed it, and I valued it, at the 500, which is what this goes at.
500 for each car?
It doesn't have,
It's not less, well, what it says there, it says, not less than 500. It's for the assessor. Not less than 500.
So they're saying a 1988 Camaro is worth $20,000?
there's a form you could fill out.
Yeah, there's a form, yeah, that we would talk to the assessor about. There's a form you could fill out for that. You're talking about historic, you're keeping it for historic value, for historic purposes. That's the form you're talking about.
So you're justifying that they're saying a 1988 Camaro is worth $20,000?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I have no
But,
idea.
but my question
I'm
is,
sure there's a picture of it in your packet if we want to look. at-
Actually, the MSRP that I used is with your information
Cashway?
under, nope, under the 366 Maple Hill.
Which number is that one?
No, well, it's not. I put no, that it's separate from that, because that's the one he declared, so it's not in that packet, what we used is right here.
This one?
oh, sorry.
It's the MSRP we used,
Yep, that's true.
and then, obviously the depreciation schedule. And then we did add for the unregistered. but-
Mhm.
But I mean, are these cars on the other, those one from
No,
the company?
they're on 366.
They're on 366.
They're on 366. All these vehicles.
But if they belong to the other one, shouldn't they be with the other?
No, they're on here. They're on Maple. They're on Maple lot. So we'll talk.
Yeah, no, I know they're on the Maple Lot, but I didn't know why they're not.
Being declared on cash.
Why they're not over there?
Yeah.
Because he was having an
Their
issue, their inventory, and he was having an issue, I don't wanna speak for you, you were having an issue with theft, right? People were stealing,
The cats.
yeah, catalytic
Not
converters.
in the 1988.
Well, no,
Actually, the one from 1988 is worth about $400,
The catalytic converter, they even have them on that
because
one?
it's an old style. It's when they put a lot of metal in them.
Is the other location, is it fenced at all, or is it just, I never drove by that.
It is, but I had a theft problem there where I had, 4 people jump the fence one night and caught them with some of the cameras.
Okay, so you do have security on it, I mean.
Did I see the valuation on the?
Maybe behind a fence on Maple Hill.
There's no fence on it.
No, it's just. You just see it from the road, it's just,
No, I know.
there's even a boat there, I mean. My son lives at 475 Maple Hill, so I go there all the time, it's like.
Okay, even if you used here T40 on the thing, it says years 15 to 19, 20%.
Mhm.
So 20% of the MSRP
So you take,
would only be like $3,200.
For the value.
Right, so where do we get the $20,000?
We made an estimate of the unregistered. motor vehicles.
And I let you know, those are not personal property of Matthew Crydell. Those are inventory of American Muscle, which is not taxable.
and that's why your appeal is here today.
Correct.
So that's why you came for your appeal. You presented that to us, and then we're gonna have a discussion in a little bit. And we will render our decision.
He's the only one, just.
Yeah, just
Oh,
these two, that's it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Great.
that's it.
Do you guys have a copy of this?
Yep.
Yes.
I'm good with everything. You're good?
Yep.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm good.
Thank you so much.
Thanks. You guys don't want a copy of the titles, no?
No,
Okay.
you're good. You're good.
You guys have time to make, Isidore happy.
Yeah.
There you go. I'll put you on that.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Put that on top. I just wanted to hold that separate.
It's up there.
We'll put it on top.
Okay.
Got it. Sure. That's how I was holding it separate. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Can I get copies of that, your listing that you have?
It'll be with the record.
So how do I get a copy of it?
Go
How
ahead
do I
and
get a
get
copy of the record?
the assessor's office.
Okay, thank you.
So I sat next to him at Casa Dora about a month ago. So I,
Everyone's up.
You.
Don't forget your stone.
right, I see what you did.
Motion for a 5-minute recess?
Okay.
Okay,
Second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, let's start with the business. We're back.
Cashway Motors, we're back.
Francis Ave, we'll start with the business. Danielle, the business, what is so he did file a personal property deck, he kind of filled nothing out. He really didn't submit anything, he didn't give a detailed asset sheet. Do you have anything to add?
So on
About that?
Cashway Motors, we did accept it as reported. We accepted it as reported, except for the one vehicle that was listed in category number. In category number 9
Mhm.
was a 1994 International.
Yep,
We did use per the law MSRP for that.
The 1994 vehicle.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
That's registered, that's a working.
yeah, it's an unregistered
Salvage title.
vehicle, but he put it on the declaration in category 9, so we,
a lot of times some companies, they'll have vehicles on site, they'll never register them, they might have like to drive around, so they'll keep it unregistered.
I thought you couldn't keep one in your driveway if it was not registered.
but that's just, that's a business, so we accepted it as it was reported.
Yeah.
And then for the 1994 International, we did 4,600, we did use MSRP.
Yeah.
Per the law.
And the personal property that he drew the line through.
Yeah, he said, he had a flood in January, February, and things got destroyed.
At Francis. At Francis Ave.
At Francis, yeah, we're still talking Francis.
But they should have
And
been removing them from the
he never said that.
declaration,
Yeah, they're
instead of
minimum,
drawing a line through it.
correct.
Right, so but that was everything else other than the international, the
Yeah, he didn't,
1994 International 4,600 was accepted as declared.
yeah, he didn't bring anything, he just spoke and he didn't bring a detailed asset sheet. Didn't bring another personal property deck, didn't bring a federal asset sheet.
Yep.
I moved everything, no change. For that one.
My only question is,
Not yet, not yet.
okay,
Not yet.
but it's not on, but I'm saying it's not declared on.
No,
okay, that's
just
what
the
I'm saying.
Cashway
Yeah.
on Francis Ave.
Yeah.
Okay,
And I don't see any reason why, I don't see any evidence to change it.
Yep.
So I second.
sure.
Right. Motion, there's a second, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Oh, here, hold on, I have the original.
Okay. I knew you did.
Here, I'll take them
I'll
both.
still sign it though.
Here, take them both. Sure.
You want me to still sign both?
Yeah, sign the original. Be great.
Ooh. All right, I'll put that one. Sign that one, please.
Sure.
Wow. There,
Give me
right.
my pen roll.
And then Maple Hill, Gary, I'll let you start.
Sure.
Yep.
Can I clarify something
Yeah.
first? So I just want to clarify that all the vehicles, the property being stored at 366 Maple Hill Ave, Matthew is declaring that their inventory of Cashway, which is located at Francis Ave, but they're being stored as residents in a residential neighborhood at 366 Maple Hill.
And where are they being taxed? On Maple Hill or on,
So our question is where they declared inventory is
Right.
not taxable.
if it's for parts, it's still,
The question I have is where is it being sold? Because you can't sell inventory from a residential property. And if he's saying that that's where they're being stored because of theft issue, then it should be. You can't store
yeah,
vehicles
yeah,
Yeah.
inventory at a residential. You can't sell it. If it's actually inventory, you can sell it from a residential neighborhood. So,
Correct.
and by the looks of it, none of them have moved in very long, so I don't think they're being tax driven.
Yes.
And they're not just, yeah, they're not just vehicles, there's boat,
Right.
I see a boat right out front, so.
Yeah.
On the record, yes, those pictures were taken in February. However, we also have evidence that those vehicles were there prior to October first. Hence the reason why they were included. And as you can see, you were given, overview pictures.
Yep.
Dating all the way back. I only went back to 2021 with those pictures. Just showing that those, you know, those vehicles were there prior to that date. I mean, I have pictures included with the record, that clearly show every single one of those vehicles were there prior to October first.
I drive by every day, and I
So-
don't see any change.
So while I understand those pictures were taken in February, I think it is important to note that we also can show that those vehicles were there prior to October first.
And they're not listed anywhere else.
No, and we added, so on that one, we did the 1988 Chevy Camaro. We used MSRP. And then we added $28,000 as a generic assessment, like value, with an assessment of 19.6.
For each one.
To make up for just vehicles. We didn't actually use specific, vehicle information for that. It was just a generic estimate. And then, and even when we did the change in the depreciation schedule, we didn't make any change to that estimate. That estimate remained the same from
last
the
year.
original assessment. Yep. The only thing we did was change the depreciation on the Camaro.
The Camaro went from what to what? I mean. Just curious.
So when I did the change, the Camaro went up in assessment $580.
Wow.
I don't, again, see how we can make any decision based on the fact that there's inventory of a business sitting in a residential neighborhood.
I agree.
I
agree.
So I have to say, we have to vote to deny. I vote to deny.
So that's that a,
While the property was moved to Francis Ave, it's a non-issue.
make that into a motion.
I move to deny the request.
I will second that.
Third.
Call vote, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Passes. All right, change. Oh, sorry. Snack. That is it, Daniel, right?
Is it?
Else? Right, do I hear a motion to adjourn?
Go to Glassberg.
Motion to adjourn, second.
Second.
All right, all in favor? Aye. We adjourn at 4:42 PM. Thank you very much.